Hello, Barendipitous here with another Board Game Shelf video. Um, I've got a couple videos, a couple of Board Game Shelf videos in a row that focus on print and play. If you don't know what that means, basically, print and play is you print something and you know, usually print cards or other components, and you play with them. Uh, instead of having like actual official like cards, like instead of having like actual official cards like this, it's basically just kind of like printing on normal paper or cardstock or things like that and playing that way. So these are three print and play games that I have, and they're all from the same publisher, Level 99 Games. These two, BattleCon and Exceed, are Level 99 Games. They make lots of awesome board games that I really love, but they especially love to make fighting card games. Like these two games, BattleCon and Exceed, are kind of like board game versions of traditional fighting games like Street Fighter or Tekken or things like that. BattleCon generally features their original characters, and this has four different fighters here. So they have a lot of they have their own world called Indines, and with their own lore and stuff. And I'm not very familiar with it, but I think the art looks really cool. So we have one character here. There's the second character, the third character, and the fourth character. So, by my understanding, essentially, like each character has like special cards, right? But there's also let's see. But also, like during the game, essentially, what you do is you combine two cards together. Like in this case, you have like brand. Is it? Let's see. They all seem to only be like on one side. Okay, here we go. For example, you can play this and this, switch brand, and then just kind of like combine the stats and everything like that. And that's generally what you're doing. You're combining various attacks into one like larger attack, and there's a board with like I think 7 or 9 spaces, and you move along that board and everything. By my understanding, BattleCon is it's very strategic and a bit more slow paced. If you kind of imagine the kind of slower mental battles of like Naruto, for example, that's kind of what BattleCon is. Exceed is a sort of simpler, more fast paced card battler, essentially. And in this case, this is two characters, Ken and Ryu, that I was able to print and play here. So they have lots of similar attacks, but there's here you don't really combine attacks. You just kind of play them, and then Exceed. There's this Exceed mechanic where if you do so, then you flip the character card over, and their ability is changed as well. But yeah, Ken and Ryu. So you can play that in the. They're basically two different game systems: the Exceed system and the BattleCon system. And again, with Level 99 Games, most of their BattleCon fighters are like their own characters, whereas most Exceed products that they make are based on IPs that they got licenses for this. So I know that they have. If you ever wanted to play a board game version of Guilty Gear Strive or Blaze Blue or Under Night and Birth, or Shovel Knight even, there are Exceed products for that, which I think is pretty cool. I haven't really ever played this. I love the idea of board games that simulate video that do a good job of adapting video game genres, and BattleCon and Exceed definitely do that. I would have other like official products that are not print and play of either of these games. Like I'm especially interested in Shovel Knight Exceed, but I can't really justify those purchases because the only person I would really be able to play with regularly would be my wife, and she's not really that interested in these particular games. Here's another print and play, Pixel Tactics, plus some Millennium Blades promos. Pixel Tactics is inspired by games like Final Fantasy Tactics and Fire Emblem and things like that. And essentially, this is another two-player game. So these are the official cards, like these are official promos that came from Millennium Blades. But here is each player gets an identical deck, and they have all these different characters, and each character has two sides. There's the class, and then there's the like leader version, which has an actual name to it, right? So each side has a board of like a 3x3 board, and you know there's front, middle, there's vanguard, there's front, and then there's vanguard, middle, and rear. And you play each of these cards on different positions. You always have your leader in the middle, by the way. Your leader is right here, and they have a special ability. And you play various cards, and depending on where you play them, that's their various abilities take effect. For example, with this assassin, if you play them at the front, then the hero has double printed attack strength against leaders. No, if you play this in the front, then the assassin has double attack strength against when they want to attack leaders. If you play them in the middle, then the person in front of them has double printed attack strength against heroes. If you put the assassin in the rear, then they can cast a spell where they apply 3 damage to a rival's leader. And then you can also just play them. You can also just play the card, like discard the card and have this effect, which is defeat a hero. So these cards are very flexible, and there's of course attack and defense kind of a thing as well. And yeah, there's some simple rules for like attacking and defending and whatever. And so yeah, a hero is different than a leader. Like these, like normal, like this side is just like heroes, but this here is the leader. And you want to try to defeat your opponent's leader before they defeat yours. So very simple and straightforward. It's a kind of a more abstract way of simulating like pixel art games, pixel art tactics games and stuff. But I love it. Like you see all kinds of classes in here: gunner, berserker, vampire, priestess, alchemist, summoner, and then of course there's like they kind of like have like names to each of these characters as well. I love the pixel art, obviously, and there's other pixel tactics products as well that I've contemplated getting. My wife does enjoy this game a little bit more than Exceed or BattleCon, so that is something I'm considering. There's some Mega Man pixel tactics which I'm not too interested in, but there's a couple other pixel tactics things that I'm considering getting to sort of add to this print and play version that I have. So basically just I should also mention how I kind of made these cards. So every single one of these is printed on it's just paper. Like this is literally just like normal printer paper, printed in color. And then you can see on the I put in a sleeve with a normal playing card. Just a completely normal playing card. And putting these two together in a sleeve gives it more of a actual card feel to it. There's a couple different ways you can make like print and play cards feel good and like official cards. This is my favorite way to do it, honestly. Like you could put stickers on a playing card or something, but I like using sleeves and everything. So yeah. These are level 99 games, print and play. I have a bunch of other like electronic files, digital files that I could print if I wanted to. I just haven't gotten around to it. But this is what I've done so far, at least for level 99 games stuff. I have a couple other videos planned. The next couple of board game shelf videos will be for some print and play games that are focused on like Brawlhalla. And I'll explain what that means in those videos. But for now, thank you very much for watching, and until next time, all the best.